My name is Natalie Bradnick, and today I'm here with hip hop artist Sir Isaac Sinclair, who recently released his latest single, Hilltop, available for streaming on all streaming platforms. So, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's so nice to see you. Of
You too, you too. Yeah, definitely, just out here trying to make it happen, working nonstop.
course. Of course. So I'd love to hop into your creative process. So if you could take me through start to finish, how you kind of write, record a song, release it, just kind of what is your process like?
Okay, so I make a mental check of, time I want to put aside for writing. After that, I go through a catalog of beats in my email, or I hit up my producers and I ask them like, I need your top 3 hottest beats. Because when I go to the studio, I don't like to do more than 3 tracks at a time because it takes, me to finish those 3 tracks. After I go in, I gotta edit them. I want to hear them after I leave the studio and come back to them. So my process has, graduated and kind of, gotten a little lengthy from just going in the studio, making tracks and just dropping tracks. But when I write music, I like to, you know, drive somewhere that inspires me. That's the whole reason why I moved, from Chicago to LA is because, the mountains out here, change the scenery, the oceans right here, the palm trees, everything that's not in Chicago, right?
Mhm.
Except for Lake Michigan. I give it to Lake Michigan,
Yeah. I call it the Windy
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
And then you kind of talked about your move from Chicago to LA. How do you think like living in Chicago and then making that transition kind of affected the kind of music you made, kind of the scene that you were around, and like the music that you were kind of surrounded by?
Um, yeah, Chicago definitely has had an influence, especially in my younger years of writing. I felt like when I went to those Chicago clubs, I had to be up to par. I had to be on the same page as everybody else. And, it kind of washed down my, I kind of washed down my creativity, you know, um, for this, you know, for this style that, where I would dive into it sometimes, and sometimes it would just be 100%, you know, anything else. You know what I'm saying? But as far as moving from, Chicago to LA and the influence on my music, it's just, the West is more of a laid back, type of vibe. And I feel like I'm still gonna bring my Chicago sound to LA on LA's type of sounds. And that's what's gonna make me stand out. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. No, yeah. And then when did you start like writing music?
Oh man. About 2008, 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there something that prompted you? Were you in like a musical household, or was it just something you gradually decided you were interested in?
Yeah, my older brother, you know what I'm saying? I always looked up to him. He always got fresh to go out to do his shows. He had this rap group called Top Notch Coalition, and they would have matching leather jackets, matching hats, and
That's
you
sick.
know the
Yeah.
yeah. So I kind of looked up to that, and I was like, oh, I want to do that, And then when I started actually rapping, or whenever I would actually like rap to like my brother's music or like a Kanye piece, I would just be like, man, like this actually allows me to like breathe. Like when I'm rhyming these lyrics over this beat, like it puts energy into me, and I just feel like I can release myself. Like, cause I'm not like a cocky person. I don't go around like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Like I'm usually quiet everywhere I am. And I think because of that, when I am rapping music, all you hear is the beat and my voice, and I'm just painting concepts or painting pictures. I feel like that's just the most beautiful thing.
Yeah. And I think people that are like introverts actually end up being able to write much more like introspective music because they're like observers of the things around you. Like I know being an extrovert is kind of idealized in the music industry and stuff because of networking, but it's good to be able to kind of absorb the atmosphere and put that into music. So I think that's great.
Definitely.
And then what kind of music were you kind of listening to growing up that might have influenced the sound that you create today?
Um, Definitely like, a lot of Kanye. Kanye was like the first artist that I really started listening to, like, growing up. I had his album, College Dropout. Um,
First, yeah.
yeah, and that just kind of like that kind of did it for me. But Kanye, Drake, a lot of Drake when he came out 2008, started influencing my music a lot because I already was singing because of like choirs and stuff like that. So like when I heard Drake, rapping and singing, plus my brother used to do that too. Like, that was I kind of wanted to develop my own sound of, melodic rapping. So that's kind of where my main rapping, now kind of stems from is a lot of my brother and like Drake, I would say that for sure.
Yeah. And then I kind of wanted to hop into your like experience with the music industry too, because you've worked with some pretty cool artists. I was reading some of your bios, I was stalking you a bit, and you've worked with some pretty cool artists and stuff. Is there any like experience or opportunity that's like stood out in your career that you want to share?
You know what? Just seeing the real, like how like when you look on TV and you're looking at two characters, right? And one character portrays a good character, and then one character portrays a bad character. And then when you get into that reality, it's like the opposite. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, yeah.
So like that has like honed me. That has like really like told like that has just been attached to me like this far. So like whenever I see like a person that has influence, I read their energy. I see how they really come off. Because I've seen the worst. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. That just kind of made me feel like this industry is just it's the business. It's the industry. It's the music business. It's not everybody's not friends for a reason. So that just made me just kind of it taught me how to watch my back a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be a good like read of people if you're in this industry, because you don't want to work with someone like creatively unless like you vibe with them. So it's a good thing to have for you. And then who would you say, you talked about your brother a little bit, but who would you say like your mentor is in the music industry? Like it could be, or it could be in your personal life too, or it could be both.
Um, right now I would say my mentors is the people that listen to my music the most.
Yeah.
Because they've seen me go from the beginning stages to where I'm at now. They want to keep seeing me progress, and they remember those moments when I did progress. More farther than any manager could ever. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
they've just seen the growth live. So like that'll be like my cousin Malik, definitely my brother Shah Smooth, um, and my cousin Dominique, in Indianapolis. Those are my top three people that I really care about their opinion and what they feel like before I drop something, or when I'm at the studio, I call them up like, hey, listen to this. Like, can I do this different? Did I really go hard on it? What you think? So, it, I love them for that for sure.
Yeah. And then you're also kind of a person that wears many hats in the music industry. You're an artist yourself, but you also are involved in multiple parts of the music business. So I'd love to get your insight on kind of what the most like promising or exciting up and coming new things in the industry are right now.
As far as like as far as I'm concerned, as far as just generally speaking.
Like just new innovations kind of in the music business and music industry. It could be latest social media or just like different platforms that you think are like the next big thing up and coming.
Okay. Yeah. I really think that's a really good question, by the way. I like that question. Um virtual shows.
Yeah.
Um yeah, that is gonna skyrocket, I actually know people in like the NFT and that type of virtual space. I'm not in it myself, but the energy that they bring to me whenever they talk about it and whenever they tell me like what has happened on it, I'm like, I don't know how to work it, so I don't want to dive into it, but I am learning about it. Say for instance, you know, I could set up a show in LA, and instead of, selling live tickets, I could really just sell virtual tickets. So,
Yeah.
you probably hop on a Zoom call like this and you could be anywhere around the world, and you could just, get your popcorn, put it on your laptop, your phone, and, watch all these great artists perform, your favorite artists. And that's one thing, that's really sticking out to me because I'm a show promoter in LA.
Mhm.
You know. So yeah, definitely.
And then
That'd
could
be
you,
like the number one.
yeah, could you like describe a bit what that like role is that you play as a show promoter too? Because that's a pretty interesting part of your career, I think, as well.
As a show promoter, yeah, definitely. After performing so many shows, it just came to the realization that like I gotta, I'm looking for promoters everywhere I go. Of course, I still do that because I love networking, but I gotta be the base of my own. I gotta be in control of my destiny. You know what I'm saying? I can't be
Yeah.
relying on somebody to, give me a show or to, give me the opportunity. And it's just like, no, I got to do my own thing, and then I can still do that to just keep spreading. But yeah, that was the number one thing for me. It was to really start networking with artists, looking for the dopest talent, and throwing these events and getting them packed out, making sure people have good times, um, you know, and just everything was ran accordingly. And so far, so good. I've thrown 3 shows in LA so far in the North Hollywood area this year, and my next one is June 18th. And it's fun, it's fun just to throw a show and see the outcome. Everybody lets me know like they had a good time.
Yeah,
It's really fulfilling, definitely.
totally. And I think it's great. It's like so important for any artist in like today's day and age to be well-rounded like in the music industry and be able to take on many of those like roles and kind of protect themselves and be independent. So it's really great. And then
Definitely.
could you describe a little bit about like kind of what prompted you to write your most recent single, Hilltop? Like was it kind of like a gradual process of like thinking about the concept, or did it kind of hit you one day?
Yeah, it just hit me. I did that process that I told you earlier. I drove to Mulholland Drive behind Hollywood Hills, behind the Hollywood sign and all that, and got to a scenic point, and it just started. I was just like, I really want to create something that can connect to my family because I know they missing me, and I could connect to my fans and see where I'm at in my life right now. And it's just I wanted to give them as much emotion as possible. So that's why even like with the first bar, like, it came out life or death. Like, have you ever had a live round in your face? Like,
Mhm.
that's a real question. Like, some people gotta have those talks because it's just it happens on the daily in different parts of everywhere. But I had to bring in my sister. Her had to bring in her case that she was going through, where I couldn't see her for like a year and a half. Like I had to see her through the
Mhm.
justice system and go to to downtown and be on a call with her and see her through a video call. And that was really hurtful. So like I wanted to just kind of bring all these different pieces and bring them together. And yeah, that's just how that came about.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
I'm probably just like
oh,
rambling,
you're
but
you're
yeah.
totally good. You're totally good. No, but you're pretty vulnerable like in your songwriting, I've noticed, and like all the songs that I've listened to. Do you find that to be like difficult, like to put yourself out there in that way, or is it just kind of come naturally to you?
It's just kind of natural to me. I mean, we're all human. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's like if you can say that, if you can say that you've never been heartbroken, I mean, congrats. It's gonna happen one day. Like,
Yeah.
like it's gonna happen one
Yeah.
day. So I feel like to hide these emotions is just silly. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't. I mean, it's life. You gotta express yourself and relate to other people because people are going through these things, and why not talk about them?
Yeah. And then what's like the one thing you hope that the audience that you're kind of curating your music towards walks away with after listening to your songs?
Um, that to just keep moving. I used to have this saying in high school, and it was like, you know, time keeps going. Time keeps going. So like at the end of the day, like you might get hit with these blows, but you got to get back up. You got to keep it moving. You got to hit your goals. It's I tell people every day, you might not win today, but tomorrow you could win. You might not win tomorrow, but on that third day you might win. So just keep going. You know what I'm saying? And I just want I said my artists. I want my my people to know that. Everybody to know that.
Yeah, totally. And then kind of as we wrap things up a bit, I want to get into like your future and your goals a bit. So what would you say like your number one short-term goal is, like in the next few months or whatever? What do you have coming up that you want to accomplish or stuff like that?
Um, okay, so I can't tell you everything because people might watch this and steal the sauce.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Give me the
Um,
exclusive, man.
okay, cool. So I'll give you three things. So this summer, being from now until the end of July, I don't really call August summer because you're starting to go back to school and you know
Yeah.
how that goes. Yeah, so I'm definitely shooting the video to Hilltop. Hopefully I shoot that in 2 weeks when my older brother comes to LA. He already got his flight, so it's official.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna turn up. What else? I plan on dropping at least one EP, 5 songs, no more than 5 songs of my best new fresh songs. I have a lot of songs in different styles that people like.
Okay.
I got
Yeah.
like, yeah, because that hilltop is more aggressive and more trap. But I have songs like I got the song called Billie Jean, and it's more of like an Afro dance hall type song.
Yeah.
I don't know if yeah, so like yeah, that I gotta get that worked out so I can still release it because right now I'm working something out with the instrumental. Like they're saying it's some backstory, so I gotta switch some things around on the actual instrumental, whether it be in horns or pianos. I don't know, but we're gonna get it there and we're gonna drop it.
Oh, I
Um,
cannot wait for that. That seems right up my alley.
Thank you. Okay, I got a 5-hour studio session tomorrow, so I might make some more Afrobeat type music.
Okay. Okay. I'm excited.
Okay, cool. um, and then the third thing, like I said, my show June 18th.
Oh
But
yeah.
other than that, since I already told you that, I plan on throwing my own showcase in July, like with me headlining and giving my EP performance. Yes.
Oh
So
yeah. People expect that in July.
in July, that's gonna be my big show for the summer, and I'm gonna have family flying out here from Chicago, and
Okay.
people flying out here from Texas. It's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a movie. So
Awesome. Well, where can people keep like contact with you and keep up with you on like social so they can see all this stuff coming out?
okay, yeah. So if you go to my Instagram, Sir Isaac Sinclair, that's Sir Isaac with 2 A's. You can find me on Instagram. That again, that's Sir Isaac Sinclair. Just like that, no underscores, no periods. SirIsaacSinclair.com. You could follow up with me there. Subscribe to the newsletter. Um, I kind of don't use Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter, Sir Isaac Sinclair. I am on Twitter. I just don't use it as much. And yeah, Sir Isaac Sinclair or Sir Isaac Music at gmail.com for all business inquiries. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited for everything you got coming up.
Thank you so much. It's fun. It's just fun working on projects and making people feel good with the music I create, make them feel something.
Totally. Yeah. Was there anything else that you wanted to like throw in or share before you wrap this up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Royal Caribbean.
Oh yeah. We
Right,
met on
for
the
making
Royal
this
Caribbean. It
possible.
was very fun. We got some networking on there.
Yes, that was so dope.
It was. I want to go back.
Yeah, and I'm in LA, and I just found out that they're porting from San Diego, or they're porting from Long Beach too. So
Are you
might
hopping
go to
on?
Tijuana.
That would be heavenly. Jealous.
It's all good. In due time.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was so nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too. I definitely appreciate your platform, and your energy was just dope ever since I met you. You know what I'm saying? Just good, pure vibes, and everybody you touch, you make smile. So like I can, I'm definitely down to work with you anytime for sure.